Well, the rumors were true. A Nintendo Direct is indeed happening tomorrow on the 14th, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. But what's going to be at this and what's not going to be at this? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. But without any further ado, let's talk about this Direct and what I expect and what I don't expect. As far as what's not going to be at this event, there's not going to be any Nintendo Switch 2's talk. I know some people are hopeful that they're going to talk about it, maybe a Flash logo at the end of the presentation, like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? Like, yeah, I guess, but Nintendo isn't ready to talk about this system yet. We're all under the assumption that it's going to come out in the second half of 2024. If that is indeed the case and it's not later than that, then Nintendo's not going to want to talk about this until after March 31st of 2024. Now, why that date? Because that's the end of their fiscal year. They obviously want to sell Nintendo Switch systems this holiday season with games like Super Mario Wonder coming on the horizon. And obviously some of these aren't, huge AAA high budget titles from Nintendo, but they're still going to be solid entries in respective franchises that we all know and love. So if you see someone out there saying, oh, I hear that there's going to be Switch 2 stuff, or I think there might be Switch 2 stuff, I would probably block them on social media, maybe unsubscribe to their YouTube channel, because, I mean, they're just kind of an idiot. Like, there's not going to be Switch 2 stuff at this event, but maybe I'm the idiot and maybe I'm wrong, but I highly doubt it on this situation. Another wild card that I think has the potential to be there, but I'm still not 100% sold on it, has to be, of course, Metroid Prime 4. Now, the reason why I don't feel like Metroid Prime 4 is going to be there is just because we haven't heard a single thing about this game.
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Knockout! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout! Round four. Ready, go! Excellent! Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 5. Ready, go! Knockout! Knockout! いかがかな
ever since the reboot. Like, there hasn't even been any sort of update from Nintendo themselves or any real insider information about what is happening with this game. Now, of course, earlier this year, we did get Metroid Prime Remastered coming to the Nintendo Switch with a stealth drop and then a physical release to follow that up. So could there be some Metroid Prime 4 stuff here? And then, of course, you do a stealth drop of something like Metroid Prime 2 for the GameCube being ported over to the Switch. That's the only thing that's kind of holding me back from saying I don't feel like Metroid Prime 4 is going to be there at all. I just don't know. I have a weird feeling about this game. Like, it's just not ready yet, and they're not ready to showcase the game off yet. I feel like this is a game that they potentially want to be like 90% complete when they show it off, and I'm not quite sure that it is indeed at that state. But once again, I could be completely wrong on that. I think the Metroid Prime 4 has a much better chance of the Nintendo Switch 2 being at this presentation, but I still feel like it's a bit on the low side. Of course, there's been lots of rumors of various titles coming to the Switch at this presentation. Stuff like a new Donkey Kong. Now, is it a 2D Donkey Kong? Is it a 3D Donkey Kong? Is it a Donkey Kong versus Mario? Which of the minis thing? That's where a lot of people seem to have different information. We've heard everything from a 2D Mario to a 3D Mario to a smaller scale Donkey Kong game, and I think there is a chance that Donkey Kong will be at this presentation, but in what capacity and what style of game? Because for me personally, 2D Donkey Kong is great, but 2D Donkey Kong has been around for a very long time. You know, we have the Wii game, we have the Wii U game, like we have all the SNES games. Like, there's tons of 2D Donkey Kong games, and there's tons of 2D games for the Switch. I mean, we have, of course, Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Sonic Superstars coming out within a week of each other. Do I really need another 2D platformer? And this one being Donkey Kong? Or should we revisit something like Donkey Kong in 3D? Because let's be real, Donkey Kong 64 has aged like cottage cheese, and it smells. I cannot stand that game. I never played that game as a kid, and I finally played it as an adult when I was like in my early 20s, and I was like, this game is not good. Like, it's not good. The camera is not good. The platforming doesn't feel very satisfying, and people have such nostalgia for that game. And, you know, I get it. I like a lot of older games that might not be good to other people's sort of, you know, line of thinking. But for me, like, this game sucks. And I think that Donkey Kong in 3D, Donkey Kong is something you could go above and beyond. You could go crazy with this, because there's what's the lineage of Donkey Kong? Like, there's woods, you're in a jungle. Like, you could do so much with Donkey Kong, and I feel like this would be something that they could really expand upon. I still want a Donkey Kong game, and I know people laugh at me when I say this. I want a Donkey Kong game in the style of King Kong. Like, you start out in the jungle, and then you're brought to New Donk City, and it's like a tale of two games where like half the game is in the jungle and half the game is in New Donk City, and you have this interactive New Donk City where you can like tear stuff up. I think that would be so freaking cool, which is why Nintendo will never do it. But I don't know. I hope it's not a smaller scale Donkey Kong title, but like I said, looking at the Nintendo Switch and where they're at with the development of games and where they're at with the system's life cycle, I can't imagine them putting a lot of time, effort, and into like a big Donkey Kong production. And really, he should have a big production because he's a lovable character with lots of side characters and stuff. But I feel like you can do so much with that, and they just kind of stick him like, here's a jungle, Donkey Kong. Oh, you want to go underwater? Here you go. Oh, here's an ice level for you. Oh, you like the desert? We're sending you to the desert. It's like, show some damn creativity with this. Like, get crazy, get wild. Of course, F-Zero has been heavily rumored for this event, and I
Join Disney Plus with our biggest offer ever.
Watch this!
I honestly hope that if no Metroid Prime 2 is at this event and there's no Metroid Prime there whatsoever, F-Zero GX Remastered, that's the stealth drop, because geez Louise, I will be happy as a pig in mud. Throw in some widescreen support, upscale the textures, have online play. And that is potentially the best remaster you have ever done, because that game is so damn good. That game looks good. It plays good. You play it on the GameCube today, it still plays and looks fantastic. But there is the chance that it's not that. There is the chance that it's something completely brand new. Once again, you know, with the tail end of the Switch's life cycle, I feel like this is where you can get crazy with ideas and you could just do whatever you want, because software tends to sell decently on this. You could sell, you know, 2-3 million copies of a game that might be completely niche. Looking at you, Metroid Dread, but still recoup your money on it because you didn't put a lot of money into the project itself. So I think F-Zero, I think there's a good chance that there's some F-Zero here. There's been lots of people talking about it. I know Nate the Hate has been talking about it. And then of course you're gonna have your third-party stuff, your surprise stuff, your stealth drops, whatever they may be. But one thing I expect to see at this is another Mario sports game. I think Mario Baseball is going to be at this event because we've gotten Mario Golf, we've gotten Mario Soccer, both of which were colossal disappointments. And I'm not even necessarily saying that I want there to be a Mario baseball game. I would prefer it to be a Mario basketball game, like Mario Hoops 3-on-3, the successor to that. But I feel like there's going to be a Mario sports game there, and for some reason I feel like it's going to be baseball, just because we've gotten Mario baseball games before in the past. It's once again another low-risk, high-reward project. People buy these Mario sports games, even though really on the Switch they haven't been that good. Like, they haven't had that same sort of shine and polish and fun factor like older entries have on the Wii and the GameCube and stuff like that. But I think a Mario sports game, safe bet, makes sense, falls in line with Nintendo's scheduling of stuff. It's once again a game that you would sort of release at the tail end of a system's life cycle just to get some software sales off of people. But I think it's pretty exciting. You know, obviously we're probably going to get something on
Ready?
if you know, you know. And Luigi's Mansion, maybe another look at that on the Switch with the 3DS version of the game, which I'm very excited for. Who knows? Maybe Luigi's Mansion gets a port. The original game gets a port to the Switch, and then you have Luigi's Mansion, the GameCube version with some upscaled enhancements and stuff like that, and then you have Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon coming in 2024, and then of course you have Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Switch as well. I think that would be pretty cool, honestly, but sky's the limit with this, man. So let me know in the comment section down below, what are you expecting to see from this Nintendo Direct? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? Did I crush any of your hopes and dreams? What do you agree with me on? What do you disagree with me on? Because I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just, you know, giving you guys my opinion, just things that I think are going to happen at this. Maybe they'll happen, maybe they won't. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. And will the amazing Gotham Knights be there? And then Nintendo diehards will all of a sudden be like, oh, Gotham Knights, that's a good game. No, the game sucks. Game sucks. Stop it. Get out of here. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I don't think I'm going to stream the Nintendo Direct because I like to watch them and jot down my notes and record everything. So that way, when it's finished, I can make a video in a timely manner for you guys who are either at work or you just want to hear my thoughts and opinions on stuff. So probably won't be live for it. I'm sure there'll be others live for it, though, with the fake hype and crying. I don't understand. I don't understand why people cry. Like, I'm so happy this video game's coming out. It's like, I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. If that's your vibe, though, that's cool. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.
If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade me and be my leaf.
Well, the rumors were true. A Nintendo Direct
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. So yesterday, a major announcement was made that sent ripples through the gaming industry as Unity has introduced this new revenue sharing process that has developers really concerned going into 2024 because it makes basically all of these smaller projects completely unfeasible. We'll go over that though here today. Also, we are going to be talking about Apple as they did announce their new iPhone, but to go a bit further, they're also getting a bit more serious in gaming as that phone that you carry around is being able to play a bunch of full console games. And we'll also be talking about Valve as it appears they're getting ready to announce some new hardware. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button. Helps out a ton. And if new here to
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Ring out! Round 4. Ready, go! Excellent! Round 5. Ready, go! Knockout! I win!
How's it going, dude? Welcome back.
to the Spawn Wave channel. Make sure you subscribe down below. And we're going to start today with Ubisoft and XDefiant. Now, there was a beta not too long ago that appeared to do pretty well. Many gamers were very happy with XDefiant Online and were ready for the game to come out, which apparently was going to happen towards the end of August. Well, we're in September and it's not out, so something must have gone wrong. And in fact, they were very transparent about what happened. This was posted up over on the Ubisoft blog, which you can see here, where they say, at the end of July, we started this process, that being the certification process to get your game greenlit across the board to appear on, say, Xbox and PlayStation. We got our first results back by mid-August, which was a not pass. Realized then that we had more work related to compliance than we had anticipated. They go on to say that they spent the last 3 to 4 weeks or so fixing those issues, and now they're aiming for mid to end of September. Could go into October potentially, but that's just kind of where they are now. So if you're wondering, okay, where is X compliant? The beta seemed to go well. We were waiting for that release. Appears that it had to get pushed back about a month or two, depending on how things get back to them, if it's not passed or if they're greenlit and good to go. It was interesting to see them be very transparent about certification for these different stores. That's not typical. Also, there was a new Switch game piece that was announced that's straight out of the 90s. In fact, you can see an image of it here. Yeah, it's a Blockbuster case. It has like the VHS sort of set up there, which is, I think, pretty funny. Again, playing into the nostalgia side of things. This from Retro Fighters. It's up on their website now, and it is due to launch November 15th, 2023, so a couple months from now, at the price of $19.99. Really, it is just a case for your Switch games, so if you want to travel around, easier, of course, to put your Switch games in something like that, rather than try to take all the different cases with you. And again, it's just kind of a fun novelty idea for traveling with your games in a Blockbuster VHS case. So I guess check out their website if you want to get your pre-order in. Oh, and here's something interesting. Apparently, PlayStation Germany made a tweet that appears to reference maybe an event coming up soon. This was cataloged over on Reddit before that post was deleted on Twitter, but we can see this here, where it says, translated from German, "We hear now is the perfect time to add Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to your wish list." And then Stellar Blade appears exclusively for PS5. Add the game to your wish list now. Interesting. Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Tokyo Game Show right around the corner. Almost like they're planning out a state of play potentially to go ahead of that big trade show. And yeah, I'm kind of expecting that to happen. In fact, they're probably going to announce it at some point, maybe today even, as I think we're going to see a direct and then probably a state of play before the end of this week, all compacting into the next couple of days. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty busy Thursday and Friday coming up. And guys, with some of the quick news out of the way, let's get into the bigger stuff. Let's start right away with Apple and their announcement for their new iPhone. That's the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, they start at $1,000 and work their way up from there, depending on if you want the Max and then how much storage on board and all of this. So it's not a cheap product, which you hear iPhone, that's kind of what you figure, right? But something that was very interesting about this, after you get through them talking about the camera and everything else, was the gaming performance. Because I mentioned before, we're going to start seeing these diminishing returns start to turn into blurring the lines between these mobile chips and the full-on desktop or chips that draw more power that would go, say, into the PS5 or the Xbox Series X. Now, in this video, they did demonstrate some games, such as Assassin's Creed Mirage, that will be launching on iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max in the first quarter of 2024. But they also talked about a few other titles, as well as going over this new chip that they have inside of the 15 Pro and Max. Now, this is the A17 Pro chip. It's built on a 13nm process. The GPU has 6 cores, and it has Apple design shader architecture, which does also enable ray tracing, which they showed off in typical form, where they go, here's a room with lights without ray tracing. Here it is with ray tracing, and everyone's kind of like, it looks a little better, I think. But, hey, ray tracing, though, on a phone, it's pretty impressive, all things considered. Up to 20% faster than their previous generation chip, and it has improved efficiency, mesh shading, the whole deal there. But the thing that really surprised people is when they started talking about the games that you would be able to play on here. They initially started with just mobile games, so like Honkai Star Rail and a few others, sure, but then they get into games that you would expect to show up on a full console, like Resident Evil 4 Remake,
Round 4.
Resident Evil Village,
Ready?
Death
Go!
Stranding. I'm curious how Death Stranding is going to go over if you use the touch screen specifically. There's a lot going on, although I guess same kind of with Assassin's Creed Mirage, right? I think you can kind of get away with the RE4 remake because there was Resident Evil 4, believe it or not, on the iPhone way back in the day, and it kind of works. However, you can also sync up a controller like the DualSense, for example, and just technically play it like you would, say, on a PlayStation 5. Now, I do still have many questions when it comes to performance, battery life, thermals. That this is something that's going to have to be benchmarked by a third party, not necessarily Apple showing you the best case scenario. But still, this is very impressive to see how far mobile technology has come, and really for Apple, how far they have come with their chips and gaming. It's not something you typically put together, Apple gaming, but I mean, we're kind of getting to that point now. They've made strides on their technically their MacBook side. They have an entire tool that works to translate games over to work essentially natively on their M2 chip that they have. And now we see them making these strides when it comes to the mobile side. Does kind of make you wonder if Apple maybe lining things up to put out maybe a smaller device that would be closer to their own console that you put under your TV. And it also makes you wonder if they get to a point where they make a serious acquisition and actually start developing games themselves. At least right now, they seem happy enough being a platform with Apple Arcade, or just offering up the iPhone and the App Store for these different companies to get their games out to more people, because that's the other big thing. Monthly active users for the iPhone is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, they pale in comparison to what Apple, or the reach Apple has right now, especially on the gaming side. They're up there when it comes to revenue that's generating, and they're not even really trying that hard compared to some of the others. So something to just kind of keep in mind there. Maybe they get to a point where their Apple TV or their Apple 4K TV turns into a game system and they put a bit more into it. A lot of possibilities, but certainly impressive stuff from what they turned in with the iPhone 15 Pro and the Pro Max. Just keep in mind, it is also $1,000 or more, so they'd probably have to work on that pricing a bit if they did want to enter the gaming console space. Next up, let's talk about Steam and how the marketplace and platform is 20 years old. And in celebration, Valve launched an entire page that kind of goes over the history and some of the big game launches each and every year throughout those 20 years. It's really cool and definitely gives that flashback nostalgic feel. For example, this is the top of the page here, a really nice kind of mural set up at the top. And then Valve launched Steam on September 12th, 2003. We're super proud and incredibly grateful for what we've been able to do in the 20 years since. As I mentioned, you can scroll through year by year and they give kind of a little summary. For example, the year is 2003. MySpace launches. Yeah, those were certainly the days there. But then they go over some of the games that launched in 2004 with, we can see Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Half-Life 2 as they work to launch Steam. You can even go back if you want to 2005 and relive the glory days of Day of Defeat. Wow. It's been a while there, but a lot of fun definitely to scroll through this, and many of the games are on sale. A lot of the Call of Duties I noticed are each and every year throughout those 20 years. It's really cool and definitely gives that flashback nostalgic feel. For example, this is the top of the page here, a really nice kind of mural set up at the top. And then Valve launched Steam on September 12th, 2003. We're super proud and incredibly grateful for what we've been able to do in the 20 years since. As I mentioned, you can scroll through year by year and they give kind of a little summary. For example, the year is 2003. MySpace launches. Yeah, those were certainly the days there. But then they go over some of the games that launched in 2004 with, we can see Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Half-Life 2 as they work to launch Steam. You can even go back if you want to 2005 and relive the glory days of Day of Defeat. Wow. It's been a while there, but a lot of fun definitely to scroll through this, and many of the games are on sale. A lot of the Call of Duties I noticed are on sale, but
Round one. Ready, go! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout!
Try training next time.
But like, you can get Half-Life 2 for $1. I mean, come on. That is an awesome value. If you've never played Half-Life 2, I mean, that's an easy recommendation at $1, but definitely worth checking out. 1, for the history lesson, and 2, for some pretty good sales on Steam. Next up, let's talk about Unity and just the weirdest announcement I've ever seen, because it almost feels like self-sabotage for the game engine. What they are doing is changing their revenue model to a pay-per-install method. And It makes no sense based on the direction that gaming in general is going, especially with some of these subscription services like Game Pass. But we'll come back to that. First, though, let's head over here. This posted up by game developers saying the cost of using Unity as a game engine is once again about to increase. Starting January 2024, the company will begin charging what it's calling a Unity runtime fee that is based on the number of users installing games built on the widely used engine. They put out a nice chart, Unity did, just kind of going over a threshold that you would have to hit. So the idea is Unity Personal and Unity Plus, you'd have to reach $200,000 in the last 12 months and 200,000 installs life to date. If you don't hit that, you're technically not paying what they have marked as
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout!
How's you doing, man?
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Excellent! Round 3. Ready, Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 5. Ready, go! Knockout!
I just got blocked, man. Or dodge when he comes in for that attack. Block or dodge. Just got hit by it too many times. It also comes in for the
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout!
Don't get hit by that, man. Take priority.
Round 5. Ready, go! Knockout!
まだまだ練習のつもりなんだがな。
I need to block or dodge that, man. Okay.
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 5. Ready, go! Knockout!
そのまま床を舐めてな。
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Excellent! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go!
sake, man. Why am I doing that? I need to be doing it alone.
雑魚が二度と面見せんじゃねえ。
$0.20 per install. That is rough.
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout!
I've got to watch out for that, man.
Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout!
まだまだ練習のつもりなんだがな。
I need to be putting more of my game on him, man, because he's let him dictate it. Definitely. I'm not doing enough of them. Pressure. Putting more pressure on him. And I need to not be doing that one all the time to mix it up a bit more.
Round 1. Ready, go! Round 2. Ready, go! Ready, go! Excellent! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout!
そのまま床を舐めてな。
Maybe I need to be using all the Tsubaki move. Or quite a lot of priority.
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout!
That's a lot.
Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 5. Ready, go! Time's up!
It's better though. It's better. starting to get some good go practice, man.
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Knockout! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout!
この強さが欲しかったのだ。
It's very like man. Right.
Unity Pro is 15 cents or 7.5 cents, 3 cents. It basically goes down further and further as you have more and more installs. And then obviously Unity Enterprise gets all the way down to a penny per install when you have over 1 million. Now the issues here become even greater when you realize that apparently demos count towards that install. So any of those things that happen on Steam where they do like the Steam Fest with demos, just trying to get smaller developers out there and in front of players, yeah, each one of those will count against that threshold for you. And in fact, now it's getting to a point where people who are building on Unity developer studios are concerned about their releases in 2024, especially if you're now in a contract with Microsoft for Game Pass. Because, like, take a look at this. This posted up by Aggro Crab, their account, saying, today Unity, the engine we use to make our games, announced that they'll soon be taking a fee from developers for every copy of the game installed over a certain threshold, regardless of how that copy was obtained. By the way, technically you could pirate the game, install it, uninstall it, install it, uninstall it over and over again, and it will rack up those fees. But they do mention that they have a somewhat highly anticipated game coming to Xbox Game Pass in 2024, which would normally be great. Like, you're getting money from Microsoft and you get to put your game into a service that has, they say 25 million. I mean, let's be real, by 2024 after Starfield and the holidays, probably gonna be a little higher than that. But you have plenty of people who check your game out, just if nothing else, like, oh wow, it's new in Game Pass. Let's see what's going on there. But they mentioned if a fraction of those users download our game, Unity could take a fee that puts an enormous dent in our income and threatens the sustainability of our business. So what do they propose? Stop using Unity, which they themselves mentioned when it was just about mastered at this point, but will be forced to move away from it. And that's the biggest thing here with Unity. As I mentioned, it feels like self-sabotage. Doesn't matter how good you are using an engine, if the business side does not line up with that creative side, you're just not going to do it. You're going to find some other way to create your game. And in that case, maybe they just go to Unreal. That's the part that's weird to me about this. Unity's not really in a position to just call the shots as they want, because there is obviously legit competition from Unreal. I mean, Unreal has done a lot to try to make it easier and easier for developers to license out and use the Unreal Engine technology. They've also done stuff to get people in who don't even necessarily know programming, just to use it and get comfortable with it. Kind of that foot in the door. But Unity is just working in the complete opposite direction. So I feel like they're rolling this thing back today. Like, it's before the end of this week, because none of this makes sense. Making it less and less comfortable for developers and studios to use your engine just flies in the face of them trying to get people to use their engine. So it's weird stuff, but as I mentioned, I think before the end of this week, they roll all of this back. But the question becomes, is the damage done? Because this was kind of just out of nowhere announced, so can you really trust them going forward? Also, I did mention that there were many games that use Unity. Take, for instance, Genshin Impact. Pretty popular title. Honkai Star Rail. Also, I heard that one was pretty popular. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Imagine Unity showing up to the Pokemon company and requesting money per install on the Switch for those games. I'm sure that would go over well. And in our last bit of news, let's talk about Valve and some new hardware that they could be prepping to reveal here pretty soon. And it's something that I think people have been speculating on for a while, and they're finally going to see it. First, though, let's take a look here. This posted up over on Twitter as it was spotted. This from Brad, who says a new Valve hardware device just received radio certification in South Korea, noting that the Valve Index was 1007, the Steam Deck was 1010, and now we have something that's 1030. So there are a few possibilities here, okay? And the data certification was at the end of August, or just a couple of weeks ago. The possibilities would be, say, a controller. Maybe they want to take another shot at their Steam controller, sure. The other possibility is that Deckard is finally going to be a thing. This is basically the successor, I guess, to the Index to a degree. It would technically compete with something like the Quest as it would be a standalone headset. Again, the speculation for that is kind of what we're relying on now, but it would also sort of be that hybrid setup where you could plug it into your PC and get a better experience. Some have wondered if maybe this would use a similar chip to what's in the Steam Deck now, maybe just refined a bit and used to work inside of a headset for cooling, clock speeds, battery life, and so on there. But it is interesting because the Index has just been kind of sitting there for a while, and I would like to see Valve attempt it just maybe a bit more current now with what we've seen kind of evolve on the VR market. And I would like them to go towards that wireless setup, which would probably mean one that's all-in-one. I just think for many people, it's just easier. You know, it's a better setup. You buy the headset, that's all you have to worry about. Although, of course, it's not going to be as powerful as when you plug it into a full PC. But really, for some of these VR experiences, that's probably good enough. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I'll be keeping an eye on this to see what 1030 ends up being. Crossing my fingers and hoping for Deckard, but also wouldn't be shocked if it was Valve trying another controller. And before we go to the comment of the day, we're going to take a look at the poll that I posted up yesterday, where I asked Android or iPhone. I was very curious on this one, by the way, to see where this fell. Okay, 60% Android, 40% iPhone. I'm Android right now. I have OnePlus. It is getting a little older now, and I've thought about iPhone. I've looked at the iPhone a few times. I've never actually had like an iPhone personally that I've used for a long period of time. I've tried them out here and there for a week, because we'd work on iPhones a lot back in the day, and we had many iPhones in store. And at one point I was like, you know, let's take this around, try it. iOS just wasn't clicking with me, but I know it's changed a lot since the iPhone 4. That's how long ago it was. It was quite a bit ago. So, I don't know. Seeing that iPhone 15 Pro and what it was capable of on the gaming side was interesting. But I'm still Android for now, at least for now. And we'll finish up with the comment of the day as we're seeing here. This is from Early Riser. Says, today's iPhone 15 Pro reveal has me a little more convinced the rumors regarding Switch 2's graphical prowess being surprisingly close to current gen are true. So you do have to remember that Nintendo is going to work in a bit more of a price constraint compared to the iPhone, where Apple they just name their price. What's that? Is $1,000. That's it. And people go, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. Nintendo, if they came in at $600, $400 less than an iPhone would be a problem for a lot of people. So looking at that, yes, I do think you see what Apple is doing currently with their own customized chip. And you feel like NVIDIA, as they'll be based more around gaming than anything else, will be able to do something very similar or even better using DLSS. So really, this just comes down to mobile technology continuing to advance, diminishing returns kicking in on the high end, and those lines becoming more and more blurred between the full fat, quote-unquote, console chips and these little mobile chips that have been running them down for years and years now. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for Newswave. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit that like button. If not, hit the dislike. Leave comments down below about everything we talked about here today. Was Unity and this very, very weird pay-per-install announcement. Do you think there's any coming back from this if they decide to change their mind, or is the trust lost at this point? Then also, what about the iPhone 15 Pro, specifically the gaming announcements and the capabilities of that chip? And then, what about Valve in this 1030 device that's been spotted? Do you think it's Deckard, or are they just going to be introducing a new controller? Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Leave that zombie. I've never been to Scotland. I know Jam Twin, my other Irish friends going there soon. Hunter.
Check the budget, again, replace broken fence, kick out uninvited creepy crawlies, fix creaky flooring, or just move in. Start fresh with Carla Homes. Visit carla.co.uk today.
To this past day.
In the heart of Detroit's 8 Mile lies the city's biggest and baddest pawn shop.
You never know what's going to happen next.
This is where customers find fast cash and sometimes lose their minds.
I can't do it.
Are you kidding?
You won't believe what's in store. Right now on Hardcore Pawn.
Oh, man, damn, I mean, come on, man, move it.
So, what do we have?
What I got here is 11-piece Pro Export Select drum set.
Why is the asset still here? Does nobody understand to move it yet?
Oh, you got gold. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just get a little Kleenex. Don't be nervous, Rich.
If I break anything, my name is Bill. Project Luna.
We're a seasonal business. In the summer, people are pawning fur coats and snowblowers. In the winter, people are pawning lawnmowers, weed whackers, and generators.
It's so hot out there, baby, I just want to store it away. In here, I got all my other jewelry and everything, and I feel it safe here than out there. And maybe by the wintertime, I might be able to come get it back.
A woman will pawn her fur coat in the summer because she knows it's much safer here than at home. We offer surveillance and vault security, so we've been trusted with people's merchandise for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of items.
Is this your first time here?
Oh no, I got all my jewelry. Yeah, I got all my
Since
stuff.
you're such a good customer,
Yeah.
I give you a loan for $75 today.
75. I know you can do the 100 for me. I got all my jewelry in
How
here.
about we split it? I'll go 85.
How about come on, do the 100 for me? I need it, man. I'm trying to help pay my rent.
No problem.
Okay.
I'll do $100 today for you. Okay,
Thank
sweetie?
you, and I appreciate that, and I'll be back.
The more people need money, the more business we get. I've never seen more people walk through the front door. We see anywhere from 700 to 1,000 people a day. Loans are up. Retail is up. We have more merchandise coming in now than we've ever had.
I have a feeling I'm not going to...
And so it's getting really busy here. And here's what I need. I need you to come back. If the kids are old enough and you have time, we need you.
So, if I come back, where would that put me? Does that mean that I walk in here and I'm Ashley the manager again? How does that work?
You just answered your own question. You're my daughter. There's nothing, there is no one that works here that's above the family. It's all about us. As long as you realize progression is me, Seth, Ashley. And I'm not saying that you're less than Seth. Don't misunderstand.
Well, you just said progression.
Well, but I don't think that the who's in charge is that important as long as we work as a family and make the store better. You guys can do it together.
It does. I mean, I think it has it's only got about 42 games. I have a load of games that I used to play. Like one game that I loved playing on my back then was the Alien 3 game. Green Dog was another one, Cool Spot was another one, Bubsy I like playing, the Outrun games. I was tempted to get the Mega Drive Mini 2, but I thought, what's the point when I can just add them to my current Mini? But you don't have to just add Genesis games. You can add Master System. You can even add Mega CD and 32X. I've got that on Sega Mega Drive Classics. That's actually on the actual PlayStation Store via Zool, and it is on my list. Failing that, the A500 Mini is definitely something on my list. I might get Zool though, because it'll be another good platformer. Because of the licensing A games? Mind you, that being said, I was really surprised that they put Castle of Illusion and World of Illusion on there. Yeah, I am considering the Amiga because I know that had the original Hugo games. TMNT tournament fighters you can actually get on the is actually on the Cowabunga collection, and you get the ability of playing as the boss characters. So I would stick with Cowabunga collection. What, the A500 Mini? Possibly. I think when you're better, I'm going to have to pay a visit anyway. Yeah, you have Cowabunga collection, so you don't really need to put it on your Mega Drive Mini, because that version is actually superior. I mean, they do that just so they can... That's why they get so much money, isn't it? Because they do commercials and... Right, we are finished with the mansion. Yeah, I played some of the other Turtles games. They're actually quite fun. Did you know they recently added DLC to Shredder's Revenge? They added 2 extra characters. You like football game? Yeah. I'm obviously, because I'm not much of a sports fan, I don't get a lot of sports games, and we have that problem in our gaming events. Oh, they added 2 new characters. I can't remember which ones they were. I think Karai was one of them. Mind you, I can sort of relate though, Anton, because I buy the WWE game every year and they update the roster. Makes it easy for swapping consoles. I mean, yeah, I can get that. I sort of have, mind you, I leave all my consoles plugged in, don't I? I can't use the multi-HDMI thing on a PS4, same game. Having fajitas for dinner.
Ready?
Yeah, they did a damn good job of 2K23. There are still some bugs in there, but it definitely made up for 2K20. If you guys saw my latest TikTok, I'll stop capping, Nathan. We know that game sucked. My latest TikTok, I was doing my matches off stream because I just wasn't up to it yesterday. I tried to do my finishing move on Robert Roode and he evaded, but somehow went up in the air. Glitches like that though. You installed 2K22. They did a good job on that. I mean, what you're really paying for with those games nowadays is the same for the football games. It's literally the up-to-date arenas, the up-to-date roster. I do think 2K22's DLC was better than 2K23. You like 22 better than 23? What did you like more on 22? Personally, I feel that they play the same. I think Cody was the big name that was added in 23. 22 was just the game that people play to have some fucking relief of not having to play 20 anymore. Oh yeah? What time, Lightwing? I don't usually watch those things, but I'll obviously check some of it out. We're going to do another save here. Oh, that carrying cross. You know, Nathan, you can create that. You know, the dog shit Vince McMahon version of Carrying Cross that failed and he ended up getting released. I mean, they do have some licensing. I mean, they got Snickers in there. I know they're sponsored by that. I think KFC was another sponsor as well. I'm pretty sure his old costume is in there. 3 PM and 10 PM. Just fun. FIFA 10 was the last good. Okay. The only football game I have is an old game called Soccer Brawl. And Virus is the only one here that probably knows of it. Nathan, what he was doing, I will agree he shouldn't be losing anywhere near as much as he is. He didn't lose to Xavier Woods, he lost to AJ. Right, we've got a Hunter coming up. Shit. I do. Wasn't that the unlicensing of Italia 90, World Cup Italia 90? I remember playing the Italia 90 version because it came with Mega Games 1. That had like 3 games in one. I heard that zombie, well, that hunter heard me. I do agree he should get some wins to some legit competition. I do like his new finishing move that he's got. I'm surprised he's actually allowed to use it though, considering it looks very similar to an F5. No, I've never even heard of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not on PS5 yet, so that'll probably be the reason. And I don't play games on the PC that often. It was that game Nico was streaming. Oh, okay. I forgot which one it was.
Yeah! Let's talk more action! Ha! Yeah!
Shit.
Let's
good.
talk
Not
more
good.
action!
Get up, you fucker.
Round 1. Ready, go!
It keeps poisoning me. The problem for me is I can't see the damn thing, and it doesn't aim on him.
Knockout!
Recommend using the flamethrower though on the cobwebs.
Round 2. Ready, go!
No, not fucking fight mode, god damn it.
Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go!
Honestly, fuck Mortal Kombat 1. That series has gone downhill for God knows how long. I'll get it when I get a PS5, but it'll be until January when I get
Knockout!
Mortal Kombat is just... There's not one new character in that.
Round 4. Ready, go!
The only thing is I've noticed that there's no unplayable character on that one, so I guess they got something right this time.
Knockout!
I mean, Stray is on PS4, so you wouldn't really need to.
Round 5. Ready, go!
It's probably fake. I'm kind of surprised it didn't though. Kind of not surprised at Tekken 8 being exclusive to next gen. Yeah, some games you can play early.
Knockout!
I remember, and Virus remembers this, when we pre-ordered our games, and this was ages ago, this would have been like mid-2000s. We would order a game from the store, like the game store, it's called Game over here, and we would get to play the game would arrive at our houses literally the day before or a few days before. It's a shame they stopped that.
It's showtime!
This
Round
was a
1.
legal thing they can't
Ready,
now,
go!
My time is here!
I'm not sure if it is. I mean, their website's still there because I've just done a massive number of games from them, but I haven't seen a store. I don't because I don't go out that often to go up.
Round 2. Ready, go!
Virus, is game still uptown or not?
Welcome in, dude.
Oh, right, that kind of sucks. The game is there. Okay. I mean, I think the majority of that store is now online only. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I heard about it.
Yeah, been a while, man.
I see you.
What have you been up to,
Like
man?
that invisible.
It's Nintendo Direct and Sony State of Play tomorrow, man. Both happening on the same day. Go again.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Well.
Round 2. Ready, go!
Take that!
Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Excellent! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 5. Ready, go! Knockout!
Well. Well,
Yeah, good to
it
have
was
you back here,
ridiculous.
Theo.
In the heart of Detroit's 8 Mile lies the city's biggest and baddest pawn shop.
Nobody messes with us here.
This is where customers find fast cash and sometimes lose their mind.
Call the cops!
You won't believe
Oh my God!
what's in store
My kid could have got killed!
right now on Hardcore Pawn.
Get your hands off me! I ain't going out nowhere!
What you got here?
2002 Salt Lake Winter Olympic torch.
That is cool.
The Rangers.
All right, let's just make a deal. Come on.
Let's make the deal.
Oh, it's on fire! It's on fire! Is there somebody in there?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to have a very busy day tomorrow with not just one, but 2 big gaming events happening. That's right, we have a Nintendo Direct in the morning, and then we have a Sony State of Play later on in the afternoon. And, of course, they happen to just fall on the same day, which is going to make coverage crazy tomorrow. There's going to be stuff happening all over the place, and you know what? It's pretty exciting. So let's take a look at both of these events here today. Guys, if you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here to the Spawnwave Plus channel. Let's start with Sony, actually, here with their State of Play. It's, again, returning tomorrow. A focus on upcoming indie and third-party releases.
Nintendo Direct, man.
So there was an initial bout of excitement when this got announced. You can see it here Thursday, September 14th, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And the excitement was, oh, great, Sony is having a State of Play. They don't really have, I guess, a lot that's known, I should say, after Spider-Man 2 from a first-party perspective. We know that they have some
Thank you,
live
sir.
service games coming up. I'm thinking of Fair Games, for example, from Haven. But I think people are more looking towards
eager to
Sucker
see both,
Punch,
man.
right? That being a big one after what they did with Ghost of Tsushima. What's the follow-up going to look like there, as we are all figuring they're going to do a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, maybe something from Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog. The list, again, goes on and on and on with some of their first-party studios that have been pretty quiet. Unfortunately, you scroll down here, and that's kind of where reality sets in when they said that they're excited to announce a new State of Play broadcast streaming tomorrow with a focus on updates to previously announced games coming to PlayStation consoles, from indie and PSVR 2 highlights to major upcoming titles from our third-party partners. Our latest show has something for everyone. So it is unfortunate because earlier this year when they had their showcase, there was once again definitely a focus, I would say, on third-party games as opposed to seeing some of these big-time single-player games from Sony. I mean, obviously, Spider-Man 2, that was a big focus. That's coming out in just over a month now. So that's exciting. But I think people are just ready to see what really the second half of the PlayStation 5 generation, which is weird to say that, but yeah, we're about to be 3 years in to this current generation, even though it doesn't necessarily feel like it's really gotten going with all the momentum you would expect 3 years into a
I think the
system's
biggest
life,
Sega
but
surprise at
I think that's what
Tokyo
people are
Game Show
hoping
may
is,
be Jet Set
okay,
Radio.
what is the...
I think they're gonna show some of this super game.
Sky Sports, your ticket to the greatest show on earth.
Also, the roadmap looking like in the next 4 years, for example. As we know, Sony will announce games well in advance, right? So that's kind of where people are left now is, okay, third-party partners, PSVR 2, games that have already been announced. That's kind of where your expectations should be. Not even going into seeing anything brand new over the top. So I'm thinking right now of Stellar Blade, for example. That
When's
was a release
Tokyo
date.
Game Show
Apparently it
happening?
was coming out still in 2023, I guess, although it is September, so it would be a pretty quick announcement for release, and then it would come out. And you also have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that coming out the first quarter or first half of next year. Those are two pretty big examples of games that we already know about from third parties.
You'd better take me seriously. Round one.
The other one would be
Ready?
Helldivers 2.
Go!
While that is Sony publishing it, it's from Arrowhead, and they're not owned by Sony, so you could technically make a case for that. But that's another one we're waiting for a release date on, and I think that would be one, as I mentioned before, that would be a good release in the PlayStation Plus Premium to continue adding value to a service that had a pretty big spike in terms of price increase recently. But looking at this, I don't know if I have my expectations, I'll say, through the roof for this one. I will see some games, it'll be fun, but this isn't the PlayStation showcase level with first party all over the place like I think people are hoping
North
for.
America.
But on the flip side, we do have a Nintendo Direct happening earlier in the day, which we can see. This is their page that they currently have up over on their site, saying tune in for a Nintendo Direct live stream featuring roughly 40 minutes of information focused on Nintendo Switch games releasing this winter. That's 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's interesting because I think a lot of predictions videos going into this kind of figured we hear about stuff in like the first half of 2024 as well, although it is very important to note that they are saying winter, and we know how these release windows can go when they are mentioning seasons, since technically winter does go into the first quarter of 2024. You could make the case that, yeah, we're going to hear about stuff in January, February, and March, and that would make a lot of sense to me. We could also potentially see a couple of games that maybe are still coming out this year. Just continue to pack more and more games into what and I'm sure many people assume to be the Switch's final holiday, where it's just this current system. We kind of figure going into 2024, we'll start hearing about and then eventually seeing and then releasing Nintendo's next system, and that would be the primary focus, launching this new console next holiday season. So this is kind of that, I guess, last hurrah for the current system going into the holiday. But 40 minutes, yeah, there could be some pretty good stuff here, and I do still wonder if they have that one more thing up their sleeve that involves Metroid Prime 4. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on there. Otherwise, definitely a focus on some other games that they have already announced, along with a couple of surprises. I did a kind of a predictions video over the weekend, building up to this expectation that there would be a direct this week. So I would definitely check that video out too if you want a bit more in-depth thought around what I think could be here. But it's definitely exciting to have a state of play in a direct, even though it is on the same day, and that will be pretty busy, obviously, with coverage of games and a ton of announcements. Usually with a direct, we see anywhere between 20 to 30 games getting shown off. And then the state of play, I feel like we'll probably have a good 6 to 8 titles. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening tomorrow. And then there's always the possibility of shadow drops of games, as we've seen recently with Nintendo in their directs. That's a pretty consistent thing. So definitely exciting stuff here as we head into Tokyo Game Show, which again, these both kind of play into that. I'm expecting different titles that are shown here. We'll also have that expectation of being marketed further during Tokyo Game Show. So keep that in mind, just kind of the thought process around what games could be here. It'll definitely play into the idea of it being more geared towards that Tokyo Game Show marketing and audience. But I'm excited, looking forward to some of these presentations tomorrow. And then we'll start to run into Tokyo Game Show, where we'll see presentations from other third parties. So games coming out all over the place, more games getting revealed, events happening. It's definitely a lot of fun stuff going on right now in games. So what I think I'm going to do for tomorrow, Newswave in the morning, probably a quick reaction to the Nintendo Direct, and then a reaction to the state of play later on, I guess, and then Newswave the following morning, just recapping everything. Again, a lot's about to happen, and it's gonna be fun. Very hectic, but definitely fun. Let me know what you guys think about this, though, down below in the comments when it comes to Sony not necessarily focusing on their first-party studios here, more third parties and games we've already heard about, and then the wild card, obviously, with Nintendo. What else do they have up their sleeve for 2023, and how much do they want to tell us about 2024? Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer, the official collection. Learn to play the world's greatest role-playing game. Subscribe now.
Hey guys, Middle Jesus here, and today we're going to do something pretty fun. We are going to open up this new in-box e-machine from the year 2000. My friends at RePC found this in their warehouse completely unopened, and they thought it might be kind of fun for me to do an unboxing and test it out on my channel. Now, we have no idea if this thing actually works. Like I said, it was originally sold in 2000 and has probably been sitting in that warehouse ever since. For a lot of people, this was their first computer because at the time, e-machines kind of dominated in the sub $600 PC computer market. This one right here retailed for $399, and I have a feeling it made a lot of concessions to get that price down so cheap, but I don't know. I've never actually used one of these. So in this video, we're going to unbox it, we're going to plug it into a monitor, and we're going to attempt to play some games on it. This should be pretty fun. Let's take a look. All right, unboxing the E-Machines E-Tower 333C. Looking at the outside of the box, I can see a couple interesting things about this. The first being is that it doesn't include an Intel or AMD processor. Instead, it has a Cyrix processor. These were low-end CPUs that you would get if you were strapped for money, or in this case, in the case of E-Machines, they wanted to save a little bit of money. Also, it says 3D graphics and audio. Not entirely sure what they've got
that
on the inside
Mohammed
here,
dude,
but we're going to find
I
out. But
remember
either
him,
way,
man. I haven't seen him
with
in
the
a while,
Cyrix
though.
processor and a
He was sending
who
me
knows
quite a
what
few
type
paint
of
mail.
graphics card, it could be kind of interesting trying to
And he
run
was-
specific
he was,
games, but we're going to try. It does say that it comes with a 3.2 gigabyte hard drive, which is not great, but it's not terrible. And it comes with 32 megabytes of RAM, which I think is actually probably pretty decent. It also says that we're going to be rocking good old Windows 98. As you can see here, we got a eMachines branded keyboard.
I remember him talking a lot
Looks
of
like it's
trash
full size
in,
one too.
in the
Also
chat,
has the
though,
number pad, which is nice. I thought
Mohammed.
this was kind of interesting. In here we have a paper ad for Amazon.com. I mean, this is early Amazon here, which got me thinking, what would have happened had you taken that $400 and bought Amazon stock back in 2000 instead of buying this computer? That'd be pretty wild, right? How much do you think that would be worth today? Here is an eMachines branded mouse. Doesn't feel like it's anything special, but also I'm sure it'll probably work just fine. Even though this is a low-end PC, it still comes with Microsoft Works, which was very common at the time. Now this is for Windows 95, so it's probably not the latest and greatest version, but at least you got something to use. And what is this little box here?
I just played
it's
one.
very
Nuts,
light.
actually.
And I was like, oh,
I played his Go.
it's stereo
man. I won.
speakers. So funny, you forget that these old computers needed external stereo speakers to hear anything. It wasn't built into the monitor. All right, I need some leverage to pull this out. And again, at this point in the unboxing, I was unsure if this was going to work or not. Like I said, it's been sitting in their warehouse for, I assume, years, maybe over 2 decades. I have no idea. But it looks like it's in good shape. There's no yellowing or any sort of weirdness like that. It actually just looks completely brand new. And like I said, I've never actually owned or used one of these before, so this is kind of interesting. I don't know exactly what to expect. One thing I thought that was kind of curious is this door down here, which exposes the USB port and also where you would plug in a joystick. I want to play games on this thing, so that's a good sign. Now let's go ahead and plug a old school monitor into it, and I have one from my office. It's a really nice one, but it's also super heavy. Walking around the computer here, it looks like your standard 90s, early 2000s PC. However, it is really nice to see a built-in floppy drive there, as well as a 24-speed CD-ROM. On the back, pretty standard stuff here where you plug in the keyboard and mouse. You have another USB port there, as well as a serial port, a printer port. There is your VGA monitor port, and that's where you plug in your speakers, your line in, as well as your mic. And then down below there, if you want to dial out, well, you got a modem. When I plugged everything in and powered it on for the first time, I was kind of concerned because, I'm getting a CMOS checksum bad error on boot up. I was like, Now, I'm not entirely sure what this is. However, I was able to get past it by rebooting a couple times and then just hitting F2 and using the defaults. My guess is that because this computer is so old, maybe there is a battery on the motherboard that holds the CMOS settings, and perhaps that battery is just dead. I would assume that's probably easy to fix. Maybe just swap out the battery by opening it up. But either way, as long as I leave it plugged in, it seems like it just goes into Windows just fine.
Damn.
But here we go,
Windows
getting
98.
into Windows 98 on the eMachines. The first thing I was very curious about is finding out exactly what graphics card is in this machine, because as you guys know, that will determine what kind of games we can play on it. And it looks like it is an ATI Rage 2C. I think that is a 3D accelerated card, but I don't think it's necessarily a high-end one. At the time, you would probably prefer to have a 3DFX Voodoo card, but again, that would probably be way more expensive than what you could put into this type of machine, so I'm not entirely sure how it's going to perform, but we'll give it a shot. And there's the hard drive. As you can see, it is a 3.2 gigabyte hard drive, formatted for FAT32,
gigabyte
and it
hard
has
drive.
most of its space available, so that's good. Admittedly, that's not a lot of space today. However, games were smaller back then. And you want to talk about a throwback? Check out all of these pre-installed online services here. You have AOL, AT&T, CompuServe, Prodigy, and the Microsoft Network. So many choices to get online. By the way, of which I would use none of these, because as long as I'm messing around with this computer, it's not going to be on the internet at all. I'm sure it would get a virus in like 3 seconds. All right, enough farting around. The computer is running, so let's go ahead and play some games. Now,
that's funny. It's crazy, man, to see that, man. Early at that 2000 PC, man. Early 2000 PC.
Round one. Ready, go!
Be right back, man. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch over to my Sega Saturn. I'm gonna play some Shining Force. Nova works. So, be right back. Okay. So there are scammers in VF Online. Yeah, pretty much, man. The scammers everywhere, man. Just as you say. Just as you say.